Hi, welcome to our Vinyasa flow. For today's practice, all you are going to want is a block or a thick, sturdy book will work just fine. We're gonna get started in easy seat, whichever leg you prefer in front. Just getting comfortable here. Hands can rest first on the knees. Maybe soften or close your eyes. You can roll shoulders up towards your ears and slide them down your back. Then we'll come into a lotus mudra. We'll come back to this a few times today. So you'll put your palms together and then open your hands a bit like a flower. So your pinkies and thumbs are touching. Your other fingers are opened up. And then again, keeping your shoulder blades squeezing together, opening your shoulders here. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Give yourself about 3 rounds of breath here. When that's complete for you, you can release that mudra and then walking your hands forward just as far as feels good for your easy seat forward fold. Might feel good here to gently shift back and forth. I can sometimes feel that in my hips if I've been a little stiff or haven't practiced in a while. Just walking those fingertips forward, little gentle movement or stillness. Keeping your sit bones reaching towards the ground. And then walk your hands back in. Switching out our legs, left leg in front this time, or whichever is your non-preferred leg. We'll start some cat-cows from this position. Inhale, pull your heart forward, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale to round the spine. Inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. Really almost exaggerating those movements here as you work with your breath. Give yourself a few more rounds, or if you'd like to bring in some circles here, you're welcome to do so. Just whatever helps you warm up in your body and that spine. And then next, try near to neutral position, rolling over your knees. Make your way to tabletop. So from tabletop, shoulders over wrists, knees under hips. I didn't mean to rhyme there, look at that. And then lifting your right leg off the mat. Keep that knee bent. Finding your balance here, engage that core. And then lift left arm forward. Option to stay right here or sweep that left arm behind you. You might be able to grab that foot for tiger pose. You might find a little back bend. May feel a little opening across the front of the quad. One more breath here. And then gentle release back to the mat. Then extending your left leg out to the side, perpendicular, so it'll be off your mat. Tuck your back toes, sink your hips back for a half child's variation. Now, if having your left toes tucked is too intense, you're welcome to release them. Kind of like that little mini plantar stretch here. Just one more breath. Then rocking forward for tabletop once more. Other side, this time your left knee. I may have said the wrong direction last time, I never know. Then lift your right arm forward. Maybe sweep that right arm before you, grabbing that opposite foot, finding tiger's pose on this side. Kicking your foot into your hand. Hand resists foot. Maybe a little shoulder opening across that right shoulder. And then gentle release, lifting your left knee out towards the left, kick it off the mat, tuck your back toes, sink your hips back, half child's variation on this side. It's again option to keep those toes tucked or release it, bringing your hips just as close to your heels as feels good. Then rocking forward once more. Hands can come forward about a handprint. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Give yourself a few moments here, maybe pedaling out your dog. Might lift hips towards the sky, heels towards the mat. Pressing into both palms equally. Inhale, lift your right leg to sky. Bending that right knee so your right hip opens towards the right. Little scorpion dog variation. Before placing your right foot outside of that right hand. This is our lizard pose. Welcome to stay here with back toes tucked or lowering that back knee, untucking the toes, whatever feels best for you. Be here for just about a round of breath. And then returning back to that downward facing dog. Other side, left leg reaches towards the sky. Bend that left knee, opening your left hip. Scorpion dog on this side. And then place your left hand outside of your left foot. Lizard on this side. Again, maybe your back toes stay tucked or you can lower that back knee. Finding what's best for you here. Then step back to downward facing dog. Bring in a little core work here first. So first press your heels towards the mat. Then rock forward, coming to your toes, plank position. Engaging your core here. We'll spend a little extra time on this first round. Knitting your ribs in, so kind of pulling your belly button towards your spine. And then keeping that engagement, lift up and back for down dog. Can exhale here. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, back to down dog. If you do our power flows, you're familiar with this. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Just one more. We'll pause and plank. Inhale, forward. Then lifting your right foot off the mat. Bring right knee to right elbow. Pause. Extend long. Right knee to right elbow. Pause. Extend long. Toes back to the mat. Other side. Lift the left toes off. Left knee to left elbow. Extend. Left knee to left elbow. Extend. Toes back to the mat. Hips up and back. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, press your sit bones back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale your hands forward and up. Exhale, fold all the way through. Inhale, half lift, press your sit bones back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll add on to that. Inhale, hands forward and up. Exhale, fold all the way through. Plant your hands, step back to plank on the toes or plank on the knees. Inhale here. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Keep your elbows tucked in. Untuck your toes, lift your heart for cobra. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, press up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 rounds of breath here. You're also welcome to take a tabletop if that feels better for you, or a child's pose for those 5 breaths. So again, just checking in with your body, what feels good today. If you're not in down dog, making your way there. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands forward and up, maybe a little back bend here. Exhale, fold all the way through. Plant your hands, step back to plank on the toes or plank on the knees. Inhale here, puff up the back of your heart. Exhale for chaturanga or the mat. Inhale for up dog or cobra. Exhale, back to down dog. Hips reach towards the sky. Heels reach towards the mat. Chest pulls towards your thighs. Again, welcome, take tabletop, maybe child's pose. Just breathing here. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands forward and up, back bend here. Exhale, fold all the way through. Plant your hands, step back to plank on the toes or plank on the knees. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga or the mat. Inhale for up dog or cobra. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, lift to crescent. Finding your base here first, really press into that back left heel, knit those ribs in, finding that engagement in your core. You don't need to scratch your belly like I did. And then opening to warrior two. Back foot parallel with the short edge of the mat, generous bend in that front knee. Inhale, right palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle, left arm overhead. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Exhale, back to warrior two. Keep that bend. Inhale, palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Exhale, back to warrior two. You can straighten into that front leg, turn your toes, then pull your heels in, sink down for goddess. So traditionally in goddess, we typically do this mudra. Dang, I need to remember that name, Padma mudra. But for today, we'll come into a lotus mudra. So bringing thumb and pinkies together, bottoms of your hands touching, keeping your heart lifted. Inhale, we'll open to cactus. Exhale, pull back to lotus. Inhale, open. Exhale, lotus. Inhale, squeeze those shoulder blades. Exhale, back to lotus, one more. Inhale for cactus. Exhale, back to center. You can straighten those legs, turn your toes to face long edge of the mat. Wide leg forward fold. Give yourself about a round of breath here. Maybe your hands rest on the mat. You might even bring opposite hand to opposite elbow. Inhale, wide-legged half lift. Exhale, start to walk your hands towards the left, sinking into your skandasana. So a lot of stops along the way. You might be right here with hands resting. Maybe you sink your hips to your heels, right heel, pressing on the mat, toes towards the sky. You want to play with balance, you can bring your hands to heart center. Then shifting your weight forward, turn your toes, walk your hands like Spider-Man, back to the top of the mat. Step back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, chaturanga or the mat. Inhale for up dog or cobra. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, crescent on the other side. This time you're really pressing into that right heel. Fingertips lift, pulling that core in. Then opening to your warrior two. Foot placement might be about the same, but you may need to adjust your back foot if that feels better for you. Back foot parallel with short edge of the mat. Inhale, left palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle, right arm overhead. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, bring that left arm back. Inhale, extended side angle, long line of energy. Exhale, back to warrior two, keeping that bend. Inhale, palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Exhale, back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg, turn your toes forward, pull heels in, sink down to goddess. Coming to our lotus mudra once more. So this, pull your heart forward. And then on inhales, open, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, back to lotus. Inhale to open. Exhale for lotus. Inhale, open. Exhale, lotus. Keep those hips low. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale, back to lotus. Straighten your legs. Turn your toes to face long edge of the mat. Hands to hips. Wide-legged forward fold. Here you might bring opposite hand to opposite elbow. Maybe resting hands on the mat. Just a brief pause. Inhale, wide-legged half lift. This time, shift your weight towards the right, finding your version of Skandasana on this side. Again, taking any of those stops along the way. Maybe playing with some balance here. And then start to shift your weight. Use your hands, returning back to the top of the mat for that low lunge. Step left foot back to meet right. Inhale here. Exhale for chaturanga or the mat. Inhale for locust, cobra, or up dog. Exhale back to down dog. 5 full rounds of breath here once more. Always welcome to take a tabletop here or return to a child's pose. Sometimes in a practice, if I'm feeling a little stiff or off my game, I'll take a tabletop with a cat-cow rather than down dog, and it can be a nice little reset. If you're not in down dog, making your way there. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, press your sit bones back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands forward and up. Exhale, fold all the way through. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, chaturanga or the mat. Inhale for cobra or up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between the hands. Lift for crescent. We'll return to this, but we'll be here for a little shorter time. Open to your warrior 2. 1 round of warrior dance. Inhale, palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Exhale, warrior 2. Straighten that front leg, turn your toes, pull your heels in, sink down for goddess. Lotus mudra, open to cactus, return to lotus, straighten your legs, turn your toes, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, wide-legged half lift. Shift your weight towards the left, finding your Skandasana for just a moment. Then turn your toes, walk your hands back to the top of the mat. Right foot steps back to meet left. Inhale here. Option to take a vinyasa flow, or you can meet right back in down dog. Whatever would feel better for you. From down dog, inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, crescent lunge on the other side. Finding your base before opening to warrior 2. Inhale, left palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle. Exhale, back to warrior 2. Straighten your front leg, turn your toes, pull your heels in, sink down for goddess. Come into that lotus mudra. Open to cactus. Back to lotus. Straighten your legs. Turn your toes, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, wide-legged half lift. Shift your weight towards the back of your mat. Skandasana on this side. Finding your shape. And then shift your weight back towards the top of the mat. Step left foot back to meet right. Inhale here. Exhale for chaturanga or the mat. Inhale for up dog or cobra. Exhale back to down dog. 3 rounds of breath here. Noticing if your breath started to get fiery there, you might try to lengthen your exhales. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, press your sit bones back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. 3 rounds of breath here in Tadasana. Again, you might start to lengthen those exhales. Not that there's anything wrong with a fiery breath. I'm not like smell-wise, but pace. But making sure here that as we have a chance to slow it down, we do so. And then you might bring the block behind your heels if you prefer to use that for Malasana. So we'll open up our stance here in Tadasana. You might have heels on the mat, maybe toes splayed slightly off, so you're at a bit of a wider stance. Then we'll sink down into Malasana as far as is available for you. You might find that you can rest on that block. Maybe you don't want the block there at all. Maybe you're pausing like here. Taking whatever shape feels good for you. Take a little extra time in this first one. Then we'll go into some Tadasana, Malasana pulses. So lifting your heart, knees pressing into those elbows, but elbows resisting knees more so. Breathe here. Then press into your heels. Lift that wide-legged Tadasana. Inhale, reach your arms wide all the way to the sky. Sink back down for Malasana. 1 breath here. Press into your heels. Lifting, take those arms with you all the way up. Sink back down, starting to connect with that breath. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, sinking back in. Inhale to lift. Exhale, down to Malasana. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Malasana, 1 more. Inhale, lift all the way. Sink back down. Take a little time here. Settling in. This is where I love to use the block. It feels really supportive. But again, you can release it if you want a bit more of a challenge. Maybe try shifting your weight back and forth here if you still want some movement. Next inhale, press all the way up once more. Hands come to heart center. Can walk your legs back under you. Removing that block if you had it. Inhale, take your arms all the way to the sky. Exhale, fold through. Plant your hands, step back to plank here. Inhale in plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes. Lift your heart for Sphinx. So elbows will be under shoulders. Heart pulls through. If this is too intense, you can stack knuckles and rest your forehead there, or rest your forehead on the mat. Scanning the low body for anywhere to release. Next round of breath, stack your hands, rest your forehead on the back of your hands. Bending into both knees. Allow the heels to fall side to side here before gently returning to stillness. Legs extended long. Scan your low back. If that was enough of a back bend, option to stay right here. If you'd like to come into another round, lifting your heart, elbows under shoulders, palms can be flat on the mat or interlaced in front of your heart, whatever feels best. Continuing to keep that low body soft, active in the front body. If you'd like to go deeper for this last little bit, palms come out at 45 degrees. Press into your palms for seal. Keeping that low body soft here. 1 more breath wherever you are. Then gently return to the mat. Press into your hands as you sink your hips back to your heels for child's pose. Giving yourself about 5 full rounds of breath here. Filling the lungs completely, then releasing all of that air. Using your next round of breath, walk those hands in towards your body and then swinging your heels out from under your hips. We'll come to a butterfly position. So soles of the feet press together and then pull the heels in towards your body as close as is available for you but isn't causing any pain. Lift your heart here and then start to hinge forward. You can use your hands on your toes to help pull you a little deeper. Allowing the head to be heavy here. Allowing the breath to slow. Next round of breath, you gently lift yourself up once more. Extend right leg long, keeping that left leg bent. Left sole of the foot to the right thigh. Lift your heart and then fold into Janu Shasana. Breathing here. Your nose pointed at your knee. Some translations of this pose are literally knee to nose pose. So helping that guide you here. Hands can rest on calf or ankle or toes. If you'd like to bring in a little twist here, you can take both of your hands to the outside or the right side of your right leg. Bring in a little extra twist. If that doesn't feel good or is too much strain on the low back, just coming right back to center. Wherever you are, next round of breath, you can slowly walking your hands back in. Then keeping that left knee bent, now we'll plant it to the outside of the right leg. Right arm reaches towards the sky, wraps around that right knee. Prop your left hand up behind you. Twisting into this half Lord of the Fishes. Really hugging that knee in. In some variations, you can take your bicep to the outside of your knee, but I like the leverage that I get by wrapping my arm around it. So finding what feels best for you. Keeping the crown lifted, spine long. Next inhale draws you taller. Exhale, twist a tiny bit deeper. And then gentle release. This time extending left leg. Right sole of the foot comes into that left thigh. Lift your heart here. Hinge into Janu Shasana. Hands can rest on your calf or your ankle or your toes. Gaze can soften or close here. I am getting distracted by all of the dog hair on my formerly clean pants because Teton was laying on my mat before this. So I'm just gonna close my eyes to ignore that. Option to take in that little twist if that feels good for you. So both hands will come to the left side of that left leg. Again, checking in with your low back. Only taking this shape if it serves you. Draw yourself back towards center. Then you can start to walk those hands in. Taking that bent right knee, right foot plants to the outside of left leg, left arm wraps around that knee, pulling it into your chest, right hand props up behind you. Twisting here, allowing that gaze to maybe come over your right shoulder, but not cranking or forcing your neck to deepen the twist. Allowing that twist to come from a little deeper in your spine. Finding your edge and then honoring it. Next round of breath, lengthen your spine on that inhale. Twist a little deeper on your exhale. Gentle release. We'll lower down to our back body. You'll want your block somewhere towards the middle of your mat. So lowering down here, resting your shoulders, your hips on the mat, soles of the feet into the mat. And then lift your hips just high enough to slide that block under your sacrum. It might be at its medium setting, maybe at its lowest setting, whatever feels best and more supportive for you. Hands can stay down by hips, or if it feels good, they can rest on your belly. A few options here for you to take. You can stay right here, or if you'd like to extend your legs long out towards the edges of the mat, walking your heels out, that can open the front of your hips. But if it causes any pinching in the low back, walk your heels right back in. You can also take a supported waterfall. If you'd like that variation, you pull knees in towards your chest and then extend legs up to the sky. They can hang here in stillness or roll out the ankles, whatever feels best for you. Wherever you are, giving yourself another full round of breath. Then gently drawing yourself back towards center. So walking your heels in or pulling your knees to chest, and then lowering soles of the feet to the mat. You can lift your hips just high enough to remove that block, lowering your hips down. Then pull knees in towards your chest, extending soles of the feet towards the sky for happy baby. You might be able to grasp the outside edges of your feet or your heels, backs of thighs. Whatever makes that shape most accessible. I've gotten a few questions on if your arms should track inside of your legs or outside. I would say, like with most things in yoga, it's whatever feels best in your body. Typically, I like to track my arms on the inside because it gives me a little more leverage to encourage my knees towards the mat. One more full round of breath here. And then gently bringing knees into your chest. Give yourself a little yogi hug here. Arms wrap around your shins. Maybe forehead comes up to knees. Nice squeeze before you extend into Shavasana. Reminding ourselves that this pose is just as important as any other pose we did today. We don't have to earn our rest, but man, does our body appreciate it. Allow yourself to be heavy here. Allow your mind to slow down, and know that I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Body can remain still. If it feels good and is available to you today, you're welcome to stay in this place of rest. If it's time to close out your practice, start with gentle movement. You might deepen those inhales and exhales, noticing your chest rise and fall. Wiggle your fingers or toes. You can roll out your wrists or ankles. Maybe even going to a good morning stretch, fingertips overhead, toes stretch the opposite direction. Then give yourself time to guide yourself towards a fetal position on whichever side feels best for you, before slowly pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Lifting the crown of your head here, feeling proud, embracing these last few moments of our practice, really feeling into gratitude for honoring your body with movement and with rest today. We'll close the collective round of breath. You can exhale to prepare. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, pull your hands back to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you for being part of this rad community, and I hope you have a fantastic day.